Most of us are doing our best to manage money, provide for our families, and build a better future. But in today's financial landscape, there's a quiet threat lurking in plain sight: predatory financial products. From payday loans to flashy store credit card offers, it's easy to get caught in high-cost debt traps that look like help, but end up hurting. These traps aren't just expensive, they're designed to exploit stress, urgency, and confusion. In this video, we're going to shine a light on the most common predatory tactics in personal finance, and show you how to avoid them, using real-world examples and smart, protective strategies. Predatory lending isn't always illegal, but it's almost always unethical. These are financial arrangements that take advantage of someone's need, vulnerability, or lack of information. Common signs include unusually high interest rates, hidden terms buried in fine print, tricky repayment structures, and pressure tactics like limited time offer. Unlike responsible lending, predatory lenders often don't care if you can afford the debt. In fact, they profit when you can. For example, a single mother might take out a $500 payday loan to cover car repairs. 4 months later, she's paid over $900 in fees and still owes more than she borrowed. Some of the most dangerous financial traps include payday loans, title loans, and rent-to-own arrangements. Payday loans are short-term cash loans with astronomical interest, sometimes over 400% April. They're designed to be rolled over repeatedly. Title loans use your car as collateral. One missed payment, and you lose your vehicle, even if you've repaid most of the balance. Rent-to-own services might offer a couch for $20 per week, but over 2 years you could end up paying more than 4 times the sticker price. Take the example of a man who rented a $600 TV. 2 years later, he's paid over $2,000, and the TV breaks before he even owns it. Store credit cards and 0% financing offers can also be misleading. Store cards often advertise 10% off today's purchase, but carry interest rates as high as 29.99%. Some include deferred interest clauses, meaning if you miss just one payment, you're charged retroactively. 0% financing sounds like a deal, but one late or missed payment can trigger a ballooning interest rate. One shopper opened a card to get a $300 coat. A year later, she had paid $423 in interest alone. Buy now, pay later services, like Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm, are gaining popularity fast, especially among younger consumers. These platforms offer instant approval and no interest on 4-part installment plans. But the catch is psychological. People often spend more than they intended, forget they owe across multiple apps, and miss payments. That's when the late fees start, and in some cases, damage to your credit. One college student used BNPL for food deliveries, clothes, and school supplies, and ended up owing $1,200 across 6 services, with no way to keep track. Hidden fees are another silent drain on your finances. They show up as activation fees, maintenance fees, processing charges, or penalties for early repayment. Many of these fees are buried in the fine print or described in vague language like may be subject to additional charges. You might be offered a loan with a 7% rate, but once fees are factored in, the actual cost is closer to 12.5% April. It's critical to read every line and ask direct questions before signing. Let's bring this closer to home with real-world examples. A young worker took out a payday loan after his dog needed surgery. The $300 loan turned into over $1,100 in payments within 5 months. A retired veteran used a title loan to fix his roof. He lost his truck when he missed a single payment. A couple signed up for same-as-cash furniture financing, thinking it was free, only to discover retroactive interest charges when they fell behind. So, how can you protect yourself? First, pause and research. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Second, compare the total cost, not just the monthly payment. Small payments can mean long-term pain. Third, avoid urgency traps. No ethical lender will pressure you to sign on the spot. Fourth, use reputable sources, local credit unions, community development lenders, or nonprofit agencies. And finally, check your credit report often, not just for your score, but for accuracy and unauthorized accounts. There are safer alternatives. Some employers offer paycheck advances or hardship assistance programs. Gig work or selling unused items can help raise emergency cash. Even borrowing from family, with a clear agreement, can be safer than falling into a high-interest trap. Set up sinking funds for big purchases instead of relying on financing. Education, planning, and community resources are key to long-term protection. Let's recap. Predatory financial products are everywhere, but they're not unbeatable. They thrive on confusion and emotion, but when you recognize the signs, you take back control. You are not irresponsible. You are not alone. And you are not the problem. The system is complex by design, but with knowledge, you can navigate it with confidence. At Fiscal Flow, we believe financial education should empower, not shame. If this video helped you, share it with someone who might be vulnerable. Subscribe to join a community committed to smarter, stronger, safer money habits. And remember, it's not about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions.